Hello everyone, 124san here with a premiere draft of Edge of Eternities. This is the brand new set of Magic the Gathering and it was just released on Arena today. Without further ado, let's head to the pack 1 pick 1. The rare Extinguisher Battleship is a pretty sweet card. 8 mana, destroys a non-creature and then deal 4 to each creature, which is one of the board wipe of the set. The set has a lot of board wipes, especially in rare. And this also becomes a flying trample just with only 5 counters, which is very easy to do. It's not trivial, but it's very easy. Other than that, there's a super good uncommon in with Predator, 6 mana. Oh, not a super good one. I misread cards again. This is basically a 6 mana 5/7 reach or a 4 mana 5/7 reach, which is decent. And the Cavalry Harrier 1 mana 2/1 is also sweet, but our time is up, so we are picking the Extinguisher Battleship. And pick 2, there are a lot of sweet cards. Removal, and probably the best signpost in this format, Biomechanical Engineer, 2 mana 2/2, that makes a lander, you can use it to ramp, and it gives you a mana sink that you can use later. And this card goes super well with the Extinguisher Battleship we just have, because we need to hit the 8 mana for this. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick this and try to force blue-green. And the rare Cosmic Wave is basically unplayable in Limited. It scales with the amount of cards you own in exile. It's not even everyone's exile, it's only your exile. So yeah, you're only putting cards in exile mostly by warping, and you're casting the warp cards later, so you're gonna lose that after. Not a fan. Pick 3, there is a very sweet, there's 2 sweet green cards, Galactic Wayfarer and your Social Engineering. Your Social Engineering is a chocobo racetrack, but you can also warp this to get a creature early, or we get a Galactic Wayfarer, which is a 3 mana 3/3 that makes a lander that helps you ramp. I think this deck will want cards like Galactic Wayfarer more than your Social Engineering. Make sure we have like more landers to hit the high mana first. Let's take this, pick 4. The land is Nesting Grounds. Move counters, I think it's unplayable. And in green, there is 5 mana to put a counter on each creature you control. It's very good with Spacecraft because they have more power to station the creature, but you need a decent board state for this. Or we can take a Cerebral Download, which is basically a instant speed 5 mana draw 3 cards. And the number of artifacts you control, which is basically going to be our lander tokens. I actually like this more than the Atmospheric Greenhouse. We're not short on like Legging Threats. So we need to ramp and then ramp into card draw, so we have enough cards. So we have more lands later and draw into our threats for late game. Pick 5. The uncommon for blue is a 2 mana 1/1 that's only... The first ability only uses to cast artifact spell, which is whatever, but the second one is kind of sweet, especially with a lander token. This basically pays for the lander token by itself. Although I kind of just like Germinating Worm a lot more. It's a 5 mana 5/5 that when you enter, you gain 2 life. Gonna help us stabilize. Pick 6, we get another chance at Atmospheric Greenhouse over a Drakemaker and the Intrepid Tenderfoot, which is not for this deck. And the blue card is also not great, so I think this is the time to pick out the Atmospheric Greenhouse. Pick 7, Sky Stinger is basically a 3 mana 3/3 reach that really hates flyers, that's it. And Nanophone Sentinel works well with the Spacecrafts, and that's pretty much it. Or we can just take a Cryogen Relic, which at worst is a 4 mana draw 2, and it also Also stun something that's already tapped, which can be useful on defense. I think I like this more than any others. Gonna take this. Pick 8, we have a No, which is unplayable. Mechanozoa, which is very mediocre. And the Fungal Colossus, which is most of the time 5 mana 5/5, or it can be a 4 mana 5/5, but I just don't like this card. I think Mechanozoa can help with a bit more. We can warp this to tap and station the Spacecrafts. And pick 9, we got the Survey Mechan here, and this is probably the best deck to play Survey Mechan. We can easily have access to the different, not that easily, but we have access to different land types just by playing like a completely off-color basic for this. And also we can just try to put the Bone Sheet lands in for this sort of effects that cares about differently named lands. And we have pick 10, we have Sami's Curiosity, which goes well with what we're trying to do. Pick 11, nothing else really. Let's just take the Space Shift. There are actually a lot of Space Shift in this format, even though there's only like 2 in uncommon for each color and 2 common for colorless. And heading to pack to pick 1. The rare is pretty interesting. 5 mana station, so this is a blank when you play it, but if you can put 10 counters on it, when you attack, it deals 100 damage to anything, so it's just a removal every turn, and if you have 20 counters, this wins you the game. Think we just gonna pick this over nothing else really. Maybe a Thawbringer. I don't think this is a good card, but maybe we can make this work. Pick 2. Singularity. Rupture is a very good card, but a double black make it harder to cast. On color card, it's probably just Edge Rover, and the blue cards are just not good, period. Or we can just try to splash black. Or we are not sure if we are even in blue, because the only blue card we have is Cerebral Download and Biomechanical Engineer, so we can certainly just pick a black removal. But I think Edge Rover is good enough for this deck. Yes, I'm willing to stay. Pick 3. Diplomatic Relations is a removal spell that we definitely need. Or there's a Command Bridge that helps with splashing if you're splashing, and it also helps with Survey Mechan, because it cares about differently named lands. I think still gonna play Diplomatic Relations first. Pick 4. We have Frenzy Bailoff, Trample Haste. Creature spells cannot be countered, combat damage can be prevented. It's actually not the greatest card in this deck, but I don't think the other cards are better than this. Maybe Mechan Navigator, that works pretty well with Spacecraft. But I think we give this rare a shot. Creature spells cannot be countered, can be handy later when we try to cast bigger creatures. Pick 5, we got another Biomechanical Engineer, which is 100% our pick here over... Don't think we're playing anything else. Bygone Colossus is actually kind of sweet, especially with cards like Downsires, because it needs 10 counters to do something, and if you warp a Colossus, it's basically putting 9 counters on it. But yeah, let's play the Biomechan first. Pick 6. Don't think this deck needs a second Germinating Worm. We have a lot of 5-drops already. I think we just pick a Sky Stinger for a curve, and surprised to see Recoil Monolith wield. This is basically a Phyrexian Arena if you have creatures, and Phyrexian Arena is actually not that great in recent limited sets. And pick 7 In blue, there's absolutely nothing, so I think we just pick a Sammy's Curiosity that helps us ramp. Or nothing else really. And we don't think we need any more Sammy's Curiosity. Pick 8. We have a lot of options here actually. We have a Larval Skylander which works well with the Lander tokens, because we can just crack a Lander tokens instead of paying 2 mana and ramp 2 lands out of this. Or Divert Disaster is a Wonders card with Landers, but I think we just take a Larval Skylander, which can also be a creature later. Pick 9, we got our Thorbinger Wield, and I was already thinking about picking this in the first place. Yeah, this is the Downsire pack. Yeah, let's just pick this 3 mana 4/2. The 4 power is gonna help a lot with stationing. Pick 10, there's 0 playable cards here. And are we drilling too deep for our Spacecraft? Maybe. So let's pick this. Pick 11, very happy to see Commander Bridge Wield. This is definitely needed for the Serene mechan, even though we don't know what we're splashing, if we're splashing at all. Nothing here, and we are not playing Shatter Wings. Heading to pack 3. In pack 3, in green, there is Tapestry Warden and Fungal Colossus, which are pretty whatever. The rare, Devastating Onslaught makes copy of target artifact or creature you control, which is kind of sus. I don't think this is what this deck's trying to do. But on the other hand, we have a very good Specimen Freighter, very good Spacecraft. You just bounce two non-spacecraft creatures that helps you stabilize. And if you can station it, it's a 4/7 flying and mills cards that helps you win. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Although we do have quite an amount of spacecraft counts, so we need extra creatures to through them. Pick 2. There is a Cold Cracker Hound, which I think is probably the best card in this pack, competing with Dubious Delicacy, which is also a great card. But yeah, let's just take this on-color Cold Cracker Hound. And I think this deck is splashing for removals. We are 100% lacking removals in this deck. Pick 3. The 2 drops are super whatever. Or we can play a Nebula Dragon that's off-color, but we can splash with this. Or I completely missed the second copy of Serene mechan, which is definitely the pick here. We already have one, we're already trying to do the thing, so let's just get another. Pick 4. On color, there is absolutely nothing. Maybe a 4/4 trample, that's it. And off color, we have Dubious Delicacy in black or Banishing Light. I think Banishing Light is a better removal than Dubious Delicacy, because this just get rid of the thing like completely, and we don't care about what we drafted already. So let's just take the Banishing Light. Pick 5. We have another shot at. We have not another shot because we already took the first one. So basically, we have another Banishing Light, period. And there's also a black removal, but we're already doing the white removal thing. So let's just keep picking the white removal that we are splashing. And how many spacecraft do we have? 5 spacecraft. That's actually kind of alarming. That's too many spacecrafts to my liking. And for this one, maybe we just pick a Fungal Colossus, which can be 4 mana or even 3 mana. Depends on what the lands we have. Don't like a second Mechanzoa, don't like any of the Eloy Operative. And Sea Ship Impact is... I just don't like this card, period. Okay. Pick 7. Don't like Messenger Gear. Don't think we're splashing just for the Night Luminary. And there's also a Dauntless Scrape bot that makes landers. I think I picked this over a Jin Pollinator. Pick 8. We have a Germinating Worm versus Ice Cave Crusher. I think we just take Crusher over. I don't think we splash Dual Sun Adepts. Let's just take something on color. Although it is an option. 5 mana generic for Port Pond, but Let's just take one color card. Pick 9. Don't think this deck is playing any more spaceships. Yeah, we have a lot of spaceship already. Let's just take the Fungal Colossus. Don't think we're playing it. Don't think I'm playing the Sinister Cryologist either. This only works for one turn. And pick 10. Think we pick a Chrome Companion. Play over the Frozen Relic. We have a card advantage in Celebrity download. And don't think we're playing more Chrome Companion. Are we playing Nebula Dragon? Screw it. And pack 3, nothing here. But this is 12, nothing here, 13, nothing here, and deck building. Yeah, actually a lot of Spacecraft in this format. And yeah. Definitely only playing one copy of planes, we're not milling, so we just get these planes via the lander and just splashing for the Vanishing Light. Need more green. And that's... Yeah, that's the right count, I think. This is not the best deck for Frenzy Battle, but 2 minutes with 2 Trample Haze is still decent, and also more power equals easier time to station the Spacecraft. I don't think Downsire deserve a spot here, but it looks cool, and let's give it a shot. I don't think this is a deck for Atmospheric Greenhouse. We're not doing a pretty wide board stakes, and we have a lot of Spacecraft already. Don't need to play that many. And for 3-drop creatures, Sky Stinger is probably the worst one that we can cut. Edge Rover, I think it's actually quite decent. 1 minute 2/2 that blocks and that can block into something and makes everyone a lander token. And I think this benefits us more because we care about ramping more than our opponent. And second question is, do we play any off-color basic just to make this effect better? Actually, not a bad idea. Although it does make the mana base a bit worse. But having the option to do it is completely fine, and we don't need help with blue after playing Sami's Curiosity on turn 1. But yeah, I think this is a good idea. Even though we are not playing anything off color, maybe I should splash for the Nebula Dragon, but I think I'm fine even without it. Still need to cut 2 cards. What should I cut then? Ice Cave Crasher. This card, 4 mana for Trample is still fine. Or maybe it just cuts Fungal Colossus, which is kinda weird in this deck. Even though it can be cheaper with me playing the off-color basics, but it's still pretty mediocre. And I think that one copy of Journey Merchant Worm is decent, one copy of Mechanozoa is decent. Need this high-power creatures for the stations. Still need to cut 1 card though. I think Chrome Companion is decent in this deck. The gain 1 life is trivial life gain on first glance, but it adds up, which is gonna help us a lot. But we still need to cut 1 card. And 14 creatures is not that much already. Not cutting. We cut Sami's Curiosity. We have a lot of landers, and this does help us enabling turn 2 ramp if we draw in turn 1, and if we have 2 copies of this, we have easier time to draw it. Although in late game, this is a kind of a dud. I think the correct card should be Sami's Curiosity, but I want to try out 2 copies of it. So let's cut the bot and be 40 cards. Alright, that's it for this deck. This deck is a super mega ramp that wins with Biomechan Engineer and our big haymakers like Downsire, Extinguisher Battleship, all sort of stuff, and also Serving Mechan also helps. And also a good thing about Chrome Companion is that it helps you from milling out. You can just sink 2 mana to keep putting cards back into a library, which this deck certainly needs if you have cards like Biomechan Engineer that just keep drawing. Alright, let's head to the gameplay. Alright, here we are at game 1 with the super duper mega ramp deck, starting with Sami's Curiosity on 1. That means we are ramping right away. Ultra tap land in Commander Bridge, but we have other sweet lands, so we're fine on that. We can keep this. Oh yeah, turn 1 Samis, turn 2 ramp, and turn 3 Frenzy Battle and make a tap land. And we drew into another forest. That means we can play the Frenzy Battle right away, and I think I'm doing that instead of cracking the lander. We don't have any payoffs for ramp yet. And next turn we can just, if we play Commander Bridge, we don't think we should play this because lander also needs to tap itself. But we can always attack first to see what they have. They don't have anything, so let's just play Island and crack lander later. Sawbringer, let's just crack lander for our only white. And let's hope we're drawing to our payoffs. And play the super mega tap land this turn if we... Ooh, Celebral Download. They mill the card in Steeship Brew Tender. And they're not countering anything, so we can just trade... I think we just trade this into that. Even though this gives them Surveil. They're always gonna Surveil. So it doesn't matter too much. And this is basically just draw 3 because I don't have any artifacts, but still a good card. Let's just attack. Yep, deal 1 damage. They get another chance at Surveil. Which is gonna help them if they, for example, stuck on 3 and need the land on top. It's Surveil over land, that means they have a land in hand. And we're just gonna Celebral Download. Played an island. Ooh. Okay, at least they're not countering our stuff. That's good to see. Yeah, I was kind of shocked for a moment because if they have any counter spells, we are like an Omega Doomed. For this one though, let's actually undo. We can play the Chrome Companion first. And we can tap this. Play the bridge to tap this to gain a life. And then we warp this Cracker Hunt to draw cards. We don't need any more lands. But I still... do I take a land over a lander? And I said that we don't need any more lands, but we still actually need a land for the Extinguisher Battleship, so let's actually take land here. And they're just gonna graph kill this, okay. I'm fine with that, because it already gets a card's value. And we have the option to attack or exile their graveyard. They don't have any big thing in graveyard yet. Larval Skullander, gonna destroy a land to get 2 land. They destroy the island. Maybe they need all their pips, but... Actually not sure. Not sure what blue cards they have. And here we play an island, we play a Galactic. And this is gonna deal 4 damage to the entire board, so I don't think we're playing this next turn. We can certainly try to push for damage. And don't think I'm gonna Banishing Light anything that's small. I am gonna Banishing Light anything that's big. Mono's feeder, that's gonna get rid of our companion, Sally. And then they can station for 6, which is a lot. The good thing about Mono's circuit feeder is that even if you're not attacking with the power, the added power still helps with stuff like this. And for this turn, our Survey Macan costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it costs 5, which means we can play this and do the thing right away. And let's attack. I think I'm just gonna shoot the Larval Skullander. If they turn this into a creature right away. And with the amount of removal in hand, we are definitely doing great. They have Galactic Wayfarer, the Ship Brute Tender, that's totally fine. Station this, becomes a creature. Think for this turn, we block Mono's Circuit Feeder, we shoot down the Larval Skullander and play the Boardwipe. Yeah. Plus 2 blockers. Block here. Or we can do 3 damage to face. But I think we just kill Larval Skullander. And target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life, which will be me. And we draw Specimen Freighter. Lawbringer. Nice, nice. And then we're just gonna play the land and attack. We have 2 mana after that. 2 mana means nothing actually. So let's just attack. And Boardwipe them. Or they didn't block, or it's still gonna cast a Boardwipe. And blow up the lander. Oh no! Oh no! If they don't crack the blender right now, I'm gonna whiff. Oh, actually, the board is not gonna happen. Oh, I can destroy land. So okay, good. I was panicked for a second. So non-creature permanents that include lands. I would definitely target lands. So okay. Crisis averted. And they have a Glacial Godmaw, which is a very frightening creature, but it's not gonna work against our Vanishing Light. Alright, sweet. And I should definitely read my cards a bit more. So the way this card writes is you must destroy a non-creature permanent because land is also a valid target, so you can always choose to destroy opponent's land. So this is like almost never gonna whiff unless the opponents can somehow give the land hexproof, which is I don't think is possible because the cards that gives hexproof they only targets artifacts or creatures. Anyways, this is pretty sweet and it shows the strength of our ramp in the early game and the payoff in the late game, heading into game 2. Alright, here we are at game 2. Facing all the mythic opponents because I'm also mythic. Gonna make games a little bit harder. Going first without a 1-drop, without a 2-drop. Yeah, this is the time where I hope I have a Sami's Curiosity, but let's keep this. And play a Galactic Wayfarer on 3 and then blow up the lander token with Larval Skullander. Which is quite sweet actually. They played a Sunset Saboteur. They will put counters on Galactic Wayfarer. Think I'm okay with that, unless I just spend a removal on my creature right away. In that case, not a fan. Think we have to destroy this right away if we have the option, because this is gonna do a lot of damage to us. Even though we have to discard a card. But yeah, we need the Galactic Wayfarer to survive, and they tapping out. They're gonna attack, put a counter on Galactic Wayfarer. And if they tap out, I will use removal. The removal is also a bomb, so making things a little bit tough. I think I have to use removal on Hadia, because this is just gonna get out of hand if unchecked. And if they don't have a removal, our Galactic Wayfarer can get bigger. So I think this turn is gonna be... It's gonna be diplomatic relations before they have any chance. And then attack for 5. And play the Larval Skullander next turn. Blow up the lander. And I think I prefer attacking over tapping a Larval Skullander. Allergy Acolyte, that's gonna be tough. Draw card, lose a life. And they're 100% drawing card each turn. And I have to leave Galactic Wayfarer on blocks. So this turn is gonna be Larval Skullander, blow up the lander token. And let's just grab the 2 off-color cards. Actually, maybe I should have grabbed Island because Mechazoa has double blue. And we need to leave this on block. And now I just die to basically removal, which is very likely they have this. It's so easy to remove a 5/5. Vader's Faithful, gonna blow this up and construct 2 cards. Not a fan. The only chance we survive this is we drew the Boardwipe right here, right now, but we didn't. And we go to 4. We have 8 mana next turn, so we can Banishing Light something and Mechazoa. Tap something down. But the board is way too big and we don't have a Boardwipe, sadly, so we have to scoop this. Kind of unfortunate. They have the super duper aggressive curve with 3 rares, and I don't have removals against that because this deck has very few removal to begin with. And this is not so sweet. Game 2. 1-1 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are at game 3, starting with kind of disastrous hand. The mountain definitely got me here, and the 5-drop, 8-drop Spacecraft that doesn't do anything more than this. Second hand, 1-drop, 1-drop, and then if it is size, like a lander, and there's a 3-drop that helps us draw cards. I think we keep this and bottom the downside, which is not gonna do anything. Play the edge row. Or maybe I bottom Servant Mechan? Huh. Anyways, we just attack with this, and if this dies, I get to crack the lander, but this is not gonna die. And we have the option to play either Galactic Wayfarer or Cold Cracker Hound, which is definitely gonna get countered if they have a counter. But before that, let's attack. And I think if they have a counter, I play this first. No counters, that's fine. We play a bigger creature on board that can threaten their life total. We play Banishing Lights on this, which is fine. And then I think for this turn we just play a Survey Mechan and attack. Most managed visions. And now we just try to crack lander to get the off-color lands. And then they play the 3-mana 2/4. When it comes to the second spell, you make 2 1/1s or put counters on each creature you control, which is super busted. Glad we just top deck a diplomatic relations that actually doesn't do anything. So I'm actually not too glad about this. It just doesn't have enough power to deal with that. We leave Serving Mechan for blocks for sure. But if we attack, I think we just attack with Edge Rover, and if they don't block, I play Cold Cracker Hound to try to get another land. And if they block, it's still a 2/1. I don't like this. Let's just play the Cold Cracker Hound without the warp. And we take any land. And then crack lander for a white. And the Cosmogrand Zenith is so annoying. Puts 1 counter on each creature you control. 5 mana, 5/4 flying. At least they have no target So get back, and okay, they're stuck. Practice for white. And now we have mana for Specimen Freighter. We don't have mana for Sabri Makan. Think we actually bounce this, and then we just tap our 2/2 and 2/1 for the Spacecraft. Bounce this, bounce that. Don't bounce the Cosmo Grand Zenith because that will be their second spell. And let's try to turn this into a creature. I think I leave the 1/3 on block instead of crewing. And Frenzy Bailoff is also a good target for diplomatic relations. First spell. Alright. If you cast a second spell, put a counter on this and draw a card. And this only returns non-creature non-land, that's fine. So I think it's gonna be this. We play the Frenzy Bailoff. Gonna be countered. And there's a chance for any of our spell to get countered here. And turn this into a creature. And start attacking. Build 4 spells then. That's what I want to see. And I don't think I played Diplomatic Relationship into open mana. Oh, the open mana is Gale Blade. I can sack it and draw. If I do that, I'm just gonna use a removal on the Zenith. And actually, the mill is gonna help them with the Aesthetic Reclaimer. That's also something to keep in mind. Alright, so they are gonna have a second spell in Aesthetic Reclaimer. Maybe not the right call, but I think I tried to blow up the Zenith. Okay, that's success. And they don't have a Tractor Beam. Alright, that gets rid of the threats, and they do draw a card from Sunset Lightsmith. Kinda bummer. Yeah, I'm gonna attack with this. Sure. Not gonna block that. Draw into a land, which is enough mana for the Starving Mechan. We're gonna try to blow this Void Operative and then push for damage. I think we just try to do that over anything else. Yeah, I like the idea. Draw into Banishing Light that deals with the flyer. And yeah, that's good enough. Attack with all. And actually the Sunstar Lightsmith might be a problem if they can keep double spelling. This will also help them double spell by drawing more cards. Okay, that's it. They play this, Sunstar Lightsmith, help them draw a card. And they still choose attack because they have good blockers. Understandable. Play the mountain. Do I Banishing Light the 5/4 or the... I can also Banishing Light the Tractor Beam. But it will take like 2 turns to get back the Spaceman Freighter. Which is not worth. I actually don't know which is actually more of a threat. Sunstar Lightsmith or Aesthetic Reclaimer. I know I'm 100% playing Thoughtbringer, so let's delay our decision a little bit. Oh, do not use whites for this. Let's see what we're... Oh wait. Actually, I have to play this first over Thoughtbringer because Thoughtbringer is Seville. So we get our land. Oh yeah, we can't even play the Thoughtbringer because I'm not gonna have enough mana to do everything. I think we blow up the Sunstar Lightsmith because that draws them more cards. And then we just try to do this thing. And they are not in a good position to attack with the Steady Reclaimer because I can attack back with the Flyer. And Thoughtbringer is gonna help smoothing our draws or our threats. We have a lot of late game threats. They attack, sure. And then we get our Biomechan Engineer, which has a mana sink that we can use every turn. But before that, let's surveil one. Don't need that. And we can leave the Edge Rover on blocks. Or if we assume they don't have anything, we can attack all, but that's kind of too risky. So let's just attack with the Flyer. Tapping this because we can use the activated ability of Chrome Companion in case they are getting back something from graveyard. Yeah, there's no way this is getting so understandable. And I am gonna sack this Edge Rover to the Aesthetic Reclaimer. That will make us 2 landers. And if I do that, I'm... Oh no, that's only 1 lander. Oh no, that's 2 landers. What am I talking about? Because Edge Rover's gonna make a lander for us. Yeah, also short of creatures on board. Warmwell Sweeper, Surveil's 2. Not afraid of that, but Surveil's gonna help them a lot here. 1 top, 1 graveyard. Yep, they are not attacking, sure. That means I'm gonna... Do they have any graveyard effects? Not really, so let's just be prepared for the long game by putting back our removals. And then we crack. Oh, this also shuffles the deck, and we draw another land. 5. We have 10 mana, so we can just do the Biomechan thing first. And if we leave the white open. We have a forest in hand, so we can just tap out the green for the Biomechan, activate ability. Wow, drawing 2 lands? Yeah. And attack with... Maybe I should have attacked first with Thoughtbringer, but... Doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Just attack with that. And it's gonna train into the Uthor's Scionist. Germinating one, good enough spell, let's keep. Okay, Chrome Companion doesn't shuffle, which is good. I don't know if I want to play that over paying Ace for Biomech Engineer, if assuming this is still on board. And also have the option to attack all when the time is right. And Lander is gonna be useless later when we have all the basic in our hand, unless I put basics back into the deck. How's two attackers? Attacking. Sure. I am gonna block, just in case gets us a Lander that I'm not gonna crack. I'm gonna Chrome Companion first. Spaceman bounces two creatures, Biomechan and the robot. Understandable. Alright, now we can attack now. And not gonna shuffle. Gonna put two cards, put a card back to our deck, which is gonna be... I think we put back Frenzy Battle. And we get a life doing this. And there's no way they can make this a creature, they only have a 5/4 flying. They're not in a good position. We just curve out, or not curve out, we just play everything we have. This, and how much mana we have? We have 10. So we can actually draw two cards and make a 2/2 instead of playing a 5/5. And I think I like that more than playing a Germinating Warring hand. We still have the option to work for it. And then we attack for all. And even with a double strike trick, they can't kill us with just a 5/4 attacking. I think we just play one more creature. And it's gonna be very hard for them to be out of this. This is another creature that does nothing and is lethal on board. Yeah, it's lethal on board. We just attack. Oh, this is the power of the ramp deck. We are never gonna deck out because we have a companion. They just keep putting cards back into our deck. And the life gain is also fantastic. Very sweet display of the deck. 2-1 heading into game 4. Alright, here we are game 4, starting with Biomechan on 2, which is fantastic. And also can hold up diplomatic relations on 3. Perfect, let's just keep this. I think we're gonna get a plains, and then we try to get mountains for Survey Macan. Command Bridge is also good, but we cannot play it right now. We play the Biomechan first, and next turn, I think we still play untapped lands over Command Bridge. Or we can play the Command Bridge to tap the Biomechan Engineer and then crack Lander after. That will make us 5 mana for next turn. Is it worth it though? Actually, I think that's worth it. Let's actually step out creature to this. And then this also gonna confuse them because they don't know if I have any counter spells. Because I can be totally holding that. Alright. I'm just gonna crack this. Oh. I have no counter spell in this deck whatsoever. Even if I have, I don't think I counter that. Get a plains. That helps with our Biomechan. Oh no, Survey Macan. And then we cannot attack though, so this is where the Spacecraft's gonna get in handy. We play the Downsire and then try to make this a creature. Yeah, I just basically did a 5 minute do nothing. I am investing for the future, as you can see. And our creature is just dead. A big yikes. And then this only bounces creatures, so let's just play Survey Macan, and we can put 1 counters on this, or I think we just put 1 counters on this instead of blocking. Let's see what they play. If they play something with threats, I just bounce both of them to their hand. Macan Navigator. The ping 1 is not great, but I also have the option to just blow this up for 3 damage. I don't care about Tornado, but it actually hurts a little bit. And think we just blow this up in our turn. And also I can just station this for 1. And they can't counter abilities, right? You can't counter this, right? Okay, good. Now we have more creatures for later, which is nice. Like Cracklander to get their land. And we have a lot of options. If they play something big, I can just Specimen Freighter, bounce both of them, and then play a Chrome Guardian up with the Downsire. Well, they did play something big, so that's definitely what I'm doing. And Automaton Torpedo pays 6. They can just pay 6 to just completely blow this up, but they need to sink 6 mana. Oh, before that, let's play a forest. Let's bounce both of the creatures. Play from Companion. Downsire station, and next turn Sawbringer station this, and we can start attacking. If we can attack, that is. Macan Navigator for 2. The ship, what does it do? It deals damage. Ugh, that's disgusting. And they can just put this have this right away. And I can make sure they say spend 6 mana on the Downsire next turn. Play the Thawbringer, and I think Vanishing Lights on top, nice. I think I still station this Downsire. Even though it's gonna get blown up by that, they do need to sink a lot of mana for that. And I'm not gonna care about the 20 mana unless they don't have this. Yeah, we can hold up this Liberal Download, even though I'm not gonna get survival value if they just blow this up. Although if they just gonna blow this up, I can just cast this in response. Invasive Maneuvers deals 3 damage to target creature, or 5. Can't help with that, sadly. Get another survival, which is gonna be on top. And in that case, they don't need to care about this Downsire anymore. Because I don't have any attackers. Unless I drew the haste attackers, which can be a thing. And maybe I should have played the Cerebral Download in case they have any counterspell. And they play another Spacecraft. 1 mana, do nothing, and with 2, at beginning of combat, turn something into an artifact creature. Which can actually start hurting us. Oh, Gen Relic. Wait, enters a late draw card, and they discarded the... Did they discard the 5 mana play? Yeah, they did. And they Warp does Starbridge well. Well, pretty good turn for them. If they have a attacking spacecraft, this is only costing 3, which is actually a lot better. And they can... They're trying to turn the Warmaker gunship into a creature, okay. And again, they move... Turn something into a 2/2 that can attack. Okay, if they do that, they cannot attack. But they can use it to station spacecraft, which is also good for them. And we're gonna cast our Celebrate download. We have this. We can just survive with the second card. Draw 3, and we draw a lot of Banishing Lights. We need to get rid of the Warmaker gunship because it started hurting us. And we can also do it with Edge Rover actually. Also, we have too many Banishing Lights. And the other cards is not worth banishing, period. Or we can just try to banish like the Thaumaton Torpedo, which is also an option. Actually, I don't dislike the idea, because if we ever get to attack with Edge Rover, we just have a creature removal every turn. I actually like the idea of banishing like the Torpedo. And on second thoughts, yes, I'm just doing the same thing. Not sure what they have. It can be a... think we can offer to take 3. I think we try to hold out the Banishing Light, not doing anything here. We don't want to tap Edge Rover here because they can Card and Relic tap this. And if they crack Card and Relic right now, which is fine. And now we don't need to be afraid of that. We can just Diplomatic Relations, blow up the Warmaker gunship. And we're not in a pretty good spot because we don't have any other creature to attack with. A Biomechan will be the best top deck ever because we have enough mana to play it and activate it at the same turn. Mechan Assembler. And this is the flying 2/2. Oh, you also get 5. Well, in this card, if they don't play a second blocker, I can just blow up the Mechan Assembler when I attack, which is very good. Not gonna block that. I need any creatures I can get my hands on. If they play nothing, that is super sweet. I don't need to play this Extinguisher. And we need to attack every turn. And 100 damage. Oh wow, that's pretty good. And that just immediately give us the reason to play the Extinguisher Battleship, which is actually very good here, except that I don't have any creatures. And now I have a Banishing Light against their Starbridge Well. And the lander is gonna help us think our deck a lot more. So we draw into our threats. Pretty please. Not gonna play the Starbridge Well, okay. Crack the lander. Think our deck more. Please draw creatures. And we draw another land. Bleh. Did we just spend a removal on the Weft Stalker Ardent? I think we actually do. We cannot delay this anymore. They're gonna unravel this, okay. They just bait, this card just bait their counterspell, which is also Good. Now they play the Star Beach well, and I start taking damage. I really need to draw a creature. And if I draw the haste creature, that would be super awesome. If that's happening. If I draw a big creature, that means I can extinguish. I can just extinguish Battleship right away. Please no counter spell. Okay, there's no way they can counter this actually, which is fine. Station this. I'm a 10/10 flying trample, and I blow your stuff up. I can also turn it into a 20/20 flying. Actually, I forgot. Maybe I should do that actually. But anyways, open scoop, and yeah, the spacecraft did the work at the end, even though I was stuck a lot in the middle because I have no creatures. At Banishing Light, there's Somaton Torpedo, so they can't get rid of our downsire. Oh, anyways, that's pretty sweet. 3-1 heading into game 5. Alright, here we are, game 5. Starting with a Biomechan on 2, and we just crack a land on 3 most likely. We have a lot of late game stuff, but Biomechan will help with that. Gonna keep. We don't have 2 pips for the Mechanosaur Hardcast. And we need a white for Banishing Light. I think we're still gonna get the white source first. They play a Virus Beetle, which is gonna discard a card from our hand. I think we're just gonna discard Mechanosaur. And then drawing to our Cerebral Download is gonna help us after we ramp. Play the Biomechan Engineer. And next turn is just gonna be Cracking Lander. That's it. Unless they play something that I must answer. I can't even answer that anyways. Because Banishing Light is white and I don't have white swords. Not gonna attack. So next turn is Crack a Lander, and then I play a Germinating Worm after. I have the option to sack this to do more damage. Yeah, they're definitely not doing that. And they have no place, so I just crack the Lander for a white. And play a Germinating Worm. What? Biomechan Engineer is not a good block anyways, so let's just attack first. And then play a Germinating Worm that has the chance of getting Graph killed. And if they do the suspicious attack, I'm not gonna block. Because a combat trick will help them a lot. Voidforge Titan, they played this pre-combat, that's fine. And yeah, 100% not blocking that. Draw into a land. And have the option to just well, Banishing Light is kind of weird here because we don't have any thing to play after that. Not in a hurry. And I don't want to give them a card. Because if I attack, then just attack back. And if I don't attack, then a combat trick of removal is going to do them wonders. Yeah, this turn is going to be tough. I think I attack this turn, actually. Very welcome with the trade, which is not going to happen, of course. And on seconds, I'm still gonna Banishing Light, even though mana doesn't work out here. Not gonna give them any chance. And the Mono is gonna get rid of the Biomechan. And Lifelink for 4, wow. Pretty good turn for the opponent. And I am gonna play the Cerebral Download this turn, and then I have a Extinguisher Battleship afterwards. And I think I leave Germinating Worm on blocks, so they need to spend a combat trick or removal on this. And let's play this pre-combat to see, in our turn I mean, to see if we can play anything right after. We cannot, so we just pass. And the Extinguisher Battleship is very good against their entire board. And especially if the germinating worm is alive. I highly doubt so. Monoist, which is -3, so it doesn't deal with the germinating worm. And attacks for 10, which is a lot, but the question is, do I take the damage? That's the question. If I take the damage, I go to 10, and I can get... Do I get back? I think I'm gonna risk here. No, I'm not gonna block. Go to 10. Oh no, go to 4, that's what I mean. And then I just boardwipe them. And we can attack or do the battleship. Let's just do the battleship first. And we actually have a creature removal by playing Downsire and Extinguisher, station the Downsire, and then attack. Assuming the Extinguisher survives, that is. Okay, we have 3 of our 5. I think it's 5 spacecrafts in hand already. And need to crack the serving mechanic to get our life back. That's also needed. Pull through left. Get back to mono circuit feeder. And can I do more damage to them? I cannot. But we can play a Survey Mechan, play an Edge Rover, and then Lateral Scoutlander. Don't think this... I hate auto tappers. I hate it with my soul. Just attack. And Monoist is not gonna win in the game. And that's 8 mana. And they scooped. Alright. Ooh, sweet. As long as I can get to the late game, I definitely win with all the rare mythic spacecrafts and the biomechans and stuff. Yeah, I have so many late game payoffs. Alright, here we are at game 6. Starting with Biomecha Engineer 2, Galactic Wayfarer 3, definitely keep. Maybe Frenzy Battle that 2 if I draw another Forest. And I have a Sami's Curiosity right away. Oh, I'm making so many landers, but we're gonna crack all of them. Yeah, let's just begin with play. If I crack this right now, we hit 4 mana. 4 mana is not that important. Basically just gonna curve out Plasma Bolt, that's fine. Downless Scrap Bot, exile Graveyard, make a lander. We have the option to Sami and crack a lander here. Actually, not which we're gonna enable Frenzy Bailoff later. Also, there's a lot of landers that we are trying to crack. If we draw a land, we can play Germinating Worm after that. That is if we draw a land. And if I play Galactic Wayfarer and it gets removed, we are gonna get set soul back into Stone Age. So that's actually Sami's Curiosity and try to crack it. Get our end step. Lila's Evango. At least they're not sacking. Oh, they're sacking lander. So that's gonna make this bigger. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the butt. Let's just not waste any time. Crack this for green to enable our Frenzy Battle. Didn't draw into a land. Kinda disappointing. But we can play Edge Rover and a Galactic Wayfarer. Or we play a Frenzy Battle and try to crack Lander, that's also an option. I think we present two creatures, although Edge Rover is actually gonna backfire against the Lightless Evangel. It's gonna help them getting one more artifact tokens to sack. That deals 3 damage to any target. Damn. Still have to block here, even though Edge Rover is backfiring. Okay, fine, draw a land. So that means we can germinate. Or we play a Frenzy Battle and try to crack this. I think they use 2 interactions, but although none of them are big interactions, they're very small interactions. And Battle trades with Lightless Evangel right now. I actually like the idea of Frenzy Battle more. If this eats although this will eat another small removal like Plasma Balls and Debris Field Crusher. Let's just go. Let's just play a big thing. Hopefully they don't have something like Graph Kill. If they do, I'll be super sad. And if I'm able to block them, they're just gonna tap them for the Spacecraft, which I'm totally fine with. As long as the game is dragging longer, I will be in a much better situation. Crack the Lander token to make this a 4. Alright, so looks like they're planning to tap for the station. If that's the case, alright. I'm fine with that. Station that as well. Go to 5. Magnazoa, cannot play that. Need to... So this turn is gonna be Frenzy Battle. And I have the option to attack with both. Which is actually fine here, because the Magnazoa is gonna tap down whatever they have next turn. And yeah, I'm fine with attacking. They do have a small removal. Okay, I'm glad I played the Germinating Worm instead of the Battle there. Or I have the option to warp, but it also delays my own play, so let's not do that. Yeah, let's grab an island for the Magnazoa to tap down the Lightless Evangel if they attack with this. Interceptor Makan, gonna get back something which is gonna be Dauntless Spot. And they are gonna have enough power, so... Okay, now I'm in sort of a trouble. Yeah, they have all the small removals, but not the big ones. Alright, gonna crack this for Island. And think I tap down their flyer. Yeah, especially if Interceptor Makan is doing that. Have the option to warp and stun, and play a Survey Makan on the same turn. If I play it right away, I cannot crack the Lander anyways. I think we use warp actually. They can sink mana into debris field crashers. I'm actually not sure which one does more damage. And if they actually sack a lander, they can get Lightless Vanguard to 5/5. And also Mechan grow bigger outside of the range of serving Mechan. Not a fan. Alright, that's gonna make something +2/+0 and it comes back. I am still gonna block it because it comes back as a weaker creature. And they have 2 pumps for the Brieffield Crusher. Wow, the pump is actually pretty powerful on second thought. It's a 2 mana for +2. Oh yeah, gonna be blocking here. Not gonna block the 1/5. Pump 1. Yeah, maybe I should have tapped that instead. That's a lot, way too much damage for me to handle. And then Interceptor Mechan is gonna go big, and I don't think I get this any longer. Yeah, there's no way I can stabilize. Oh, they got me. They have enough damage in the board state. And maybe I shouldn't attack at that turn, but that's like afterthought. So 4-2 heading into game 7. Alright, here we are at game 7. Hopefully this one goes better than last time where we didn't get to stabilize and died. This one though, we have a turn 2 Frenzy Bailoff, turn 3 level Skylander. It's playable, let's keep this. Turn 1 Gene Pollinator. Sure. And turn 2, they still only have 2 mana because this has to tap another permanent to generate the mana. Although that means they can have something like blue. Oh no, that's red. That's actually blue or red, so it doesn't matter. And then they cast another thing. Oh, this is disgusting. Now they have a board state. And I think I can still play a Frenzy Battle and trade with both of them. Or I don't trade and tap for station later. That's also an option. I think that's actually better. So let's just play the bailout and not attack. Yeah, then the Pinnacle Emissary is gonna win the game super fast. We don't have any removal for that in the hand. Yep, then they are just gonna cast that. And I think I love Skylander, blow up a forest for white source. And station. Basically investing for the future. But there's also a chance that the Spacecraft just get blown away right away. That's self-cross mechan. Oh, and it also provides the sacrifice fodder for you to sack and just put a counter probably on the. Can be on the 3/3 or play safe and on here. Either way, that's good for them. For this turn though, we can play 2 creatures. Or we play a survey mechan that we can activate next turn. But I have to play a survey mechan next turn and then activate it. Screw it. Let's try this. And no attack. Use it for blocks. next turn, Servant McCann blow something up. Most likely the Pinnacle Emissary. Draw 2, discard 1, okay? And that means we are blocking their flyers, which is acceptable. And I need to blow this ASAP before they have any interactions against us. They discarded Edge Rover, probably because they don't have a forest to play right away. If they can play this right away, they'll definitely do it. Yep. Station them. Probably station the Pinnacle Emissary too. And attack with a Spacecraft. Use a very good attack here. Draw into a Diplomatic. So we can Diplomatic the Pinnacle Emissary. And then we have a Vigilance attack here. I think that's actually better than... I have to play a Forest if I want to play these two together. I think we can leave this behind with... Yeah, this is... One companion need to tap something. I think we just... Mechanical Engineer into Diplomatic Relations. Blow up the Pinnacle Emissary, which is gonna win them the game. Unchecked. Although they also have a very good attack in the UFO scanship that I have to answer. I just attack with 1. There's no way I can preferably trade. And at least Servant McCann has a hexproof, so they cannot use any interactions on this. They can use a combat trick on their own creature though. Yep, that's a 4 for now. I'm not gonna block that, and next turn I am gonna block. I think I just leave Servant McCann back. And play Commander Bridge, tap the Lander and pass. I think that'll be my next turn. And leave Servant McCann back for the blocks on the UFO scanship. I just need to answer their scanship now. I can deal with anything else. And still need to leave back the Lateral Scoutlander, because in case they attack with the drones. Mechanical Engineer. And they can crack it actually. And I can, if I attack with this and they... Yeah, I'm not gonna attack with this with no win trade on that front. So let's just leave everything back. And this is gonna cost 5 mana. And the other question is, what are we blowing up? I think we just blow up the biomechanic. I think we blow up the flyer actually. Or we can blow up the Slackdrill Scrapper, which is gonna turn the other cards into something. It does cost a mana to do so. And they already have a lot of cards already, so I'm not too concerned about that. This Scalping Blast, sure. And that gives me a perfect reason to blow up the flyer. And they are 100 attacking with everything, almost everything. Sure, move the blocks. Make our best blocks and blow up the 2/2 in the air. If they have any combat trick, I just lose, but I'll play around that. It has to be like +4/+4. But they don't. We draw 3 cards. And we take 4. They do have a combat trick. And that doesn't save the creature, so that's why they do like this, but it's not doing great for me because I'm dead on board right now. Play the land. We are trying to play maximum amount of blockers, so I think we play Sawbringer first. Don't have any red card. And then bottom, if it's not removal. Germinating Worm. And we're still dead on board. If we put this on top, so. And then we actually don't have any mana, unless the 2 mana can answer that. Yeah, Sami's Curiosity is like barely in range. Sadly. This game is pretty close. But we got super aggro by this Pinnacle Emissary, which make them 2 flyers to attack with. Oh, pretty close one actually. And I think we got a pretty sweet deck. We lose our games because we cannot get to a late game. But if we manage to get the late game, our vehicles and the mana sinks definitely gonna help us to win. And we will not deck out as long as we have Chrome Companion on the board, that we can just keep putting cards back from the graveyard. Yeah. I think I should not play the Downsire in this deck. This is just... In this deck, it's kind of hard to put 10 counters on this, especially when we are playing a lot of Spacecrafts and the Serving Mech and the cards like Serving Mech that doesn't have any power. It just doesn't work well with Downsire. Instead, we should play another Chrome Companion that's gonna gain us a life, and also that's a second copy to help with a late game when we get to the point. Or we can play a Fungal Colossus, which is actually a creature and can be cheated out earlier with the Mountain Plains and Command Bridge. And yeah, totally shouldn't play this Downsire, but it looks cool. It's a mythic and it deals 100 damage. And yeah, that's it for my first draft of Edge of Eternities. Hopefully I can do better later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.